was to choose, I will choose Bruno in terms of the skills and football-wise. But then, if I'm to bring leadership skills, I'd rather bring Odegaard's leadership skills and instill them in Bruno. Imagine if you had a breed of Bruno's skills and Odegaard mentality as a player. That can be a beast.
Let me tell you one thing.
So in short, you're telling me.
Let me land. Let me land. Get this. Right now, but the rules have really changed, by the way. And the referee.
Yeah. True.
All right. So let me ask you, would you rather have a player who's so skilled and then risk him actually getting a red card, a big ban for 3 games? What value will you be adding to you as a team?
Nothing. But
reckless talk. Son of a gangster. Hey, reckless talk. But I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt. I'm a real one. Check my fabric.
Between Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes. And I will go first. I love Odegaard. He's young, he's good. But in this one, I will go with Bruno. However, I will say this. Bruno.
No. We are not talking about however.
Yo, relax.
Let him explain himself.
Bruno is a good player. I give him that. The only problem with Bruno is he has a very bad attitude, you know. And if I was a coach with Odegaard and Bruno, I will start Bruno, but then I will quickly remove him from the game in the 60th minute and introduce Odegaard. So I will choose Bruno because he's more experienced in the Premier League. He's older than Odegaard. He's generally is more sharper in the game. You know, I can imagine if Arsenal had someone like Bruno instead of Odegaard. I think Arsenal would have been even better with someone like Bruno. You know, with the experience he comes with the kind of player he is. The only problem is his attitude. You know, he likes complaining a lot. He's a crybaby, basically. So moving on to Bridget, between Bruno and Odegaard for you.
Between Bruno and Odegaard, I will go for Bruno because Bruno is a creative machine. He's more of a risk taker. As far as lazima ni explain.
Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Okay. Odegaard is controlled when he's the ball, but he's a taker. Whereby sasa Bruno anaamua utwe. He's such a creative machine, and I love that about Fernandes.
Don Seda, usikie maoni.
So
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes for Seda. Okay. Yes, yeah. Seda. You're done?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Bridget has just amesema vitu zenye nilipa kusema.
So the thing is this, Lewis, by the man. I know you actually by the waiting, man. You have your gloves on, your gloves off. You're actually ready to fight. In fact, when Bridget actually said, Bruno, you're surprised. But listen, we are reasonable.
I'm surprised.
Yeah? But listen, hold on. Let me say this. For me, actually, but I'll go for Bruno. I think, Rijak, let me just second what you said. In terms of leadership, I feel like Odegaard, but is a better leader. Bruno is more like a fussy baby. You know, he's a fussy baby, always crying. He has a very, very, very poor attitude. And trust me, by the way, that attitude at times, but I've seen actually that attitude, by the way, usually affects your team. Bruno's attitude at times, but usually affects the team. Throwing hands, throwing tantrums, that's a very poor attitude that probably needs to work on. But in terms of creativity, in terms of his style of play, in terms of experience, for sure, man, I think I'll go for Bruno by then, my combo 11.
It's my turn.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm Mshaju and I choose Bruno. Come on. Why?
Go ahead.
First of all, the debate between Bruno and Odegaard, I think hapa kila mtu KDB alikuwa sha spoil. That's why someone like Bridget, she's also choosing Bruno over Odegaard simply because KDB, one of the best in the whole world, asha sema.
You see, you will be shocked. I did not. I didn't have any clue about what De Bruyne said about Bruno and Odegaard.
Okay.
It's something
Okay.
I just
Back to Don and Ridge. Don, you've been watching the documentaries, or rather, let me just put it this way: you have been watching the history of Arsenal, right? Mm-hmm. With Manu, someone like Vieira. It was Vieira and who? Vieira and Roy Keane.
Roy Keane, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, for a better captain, or rather, for as much as people are saying, Bruno's altitude is affecting the game, man. Bruno minus that throwing hands is not Bruno. That one is his character. Huwezi toa kwake. Na ukitoa hiyo, you won't see Bruno anymore. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. In one way, let me just finish.
Oh, and
minus Bruno ku complain kwa mareferee, huh? I'm pretty sure some other silly mistakes they do assume. Go on, assume. And for a better captain, you must be there for your team.
That's okay. We're not disputing that. But listen, there's a difference between balls and there's a difference between being a fussy baby. All right? Bruno doesn't have me. I feel like that guy's a fussy baby, man. He's ever crying. Listen, you see, complaining and trying to persuade the ref. That's the captain's job. That's perfectly all right. But throwing your hands,
he's a captain.
Throwing your hands to the referee. Who are you throwing your hands to? That's a very poor attitude. That's not even a captain is supposed to be behaving like that.
Why is it? Why is it? Why is yes?
Let me
yes.
Say, unakumbuka Balotelli venye alikuwa?
Yes.
And then what happened with his career?
It was ruined.
Exactly. So some characters in a player, unaweza sema yes ni yeye, but they are not desirable. Unaweza kuwa wewe ni mtu wa kurusha mikono, but that does not mean it is a desirable part of you. That does not mean that mimi nikiona Bruno akirusha mkono nafaa niseme yes, arushe mikono zaidi. No. Nafaa nimwambie, oya, you are the leader, you are the captain of this team. Be objective, be reasonable, and if you have a complaint, usirushe mikono. Go and speak to the coach, to the ref, juu wako kwa uwanja. The same way unaona penye Balotelli alikuanga na a very bad attitude. He was a good player, was elite, but then what happened? Due to his attitude, the way he was as a person, he ruined his career essentially. Alitoka akaingia Inter and then akapotea hivyo. Balotelli alikuwa na promising future, angeshinda hata Ballon d'Or, angeshinda a lot of things. But then because of his attitude, aliflop. Same thing na Bruno. I'm not saying that at a flop, lakini the attitude that he has is not desirable. If I was to choose, I will choose Bruno in terms of the skills and football-wise, but then if I'm to bring leadership skills, I'd rather bring Odegaard's leadership skills and instill them in Bruno. Imagine if you had a breed of Bruno's skill and Odegaard mentality as a player. That can be a beast.
Let me tell you
so in short, you're telling me.
Let me land. Get this. Right now, but the rules have really, really, really changed, by the way. And the referee.
Yeah. True.
All right. So let me ask you, would you rather have a player who's so skilled and then risk him actually getting a red card, a big ban for 3 games? What value will you be adding to you as a team?
Nothing. But listen, Bruno, as much as we grow, this thing, the Bruno attitude is not. It's just a so many people are talking about it, but man, I'm telling you, in one way or the other, it is helping because he is a captain. He has to complain Whenever there is a mistake, he has to complain. He has to face the referee and tell him, you know what, this and this is not right.
Lewis, it was, get this, it was helping, but now it won't help. Don't think that right now, but in fact, even Van Dijk recently, when was it? The game they played versus Newcastle. You do aware that the guy was shot by there for actually, cussing and trying to throw his hands. Right now, man, discipline is a very, 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 very intense thing that these guys actually look into by there for a player. So don't think
and that's why the football is being ruined.
Okay,
because back them days, Akina Vieira and Roy Keane, they used to do the same thing Bruno is doing.
That was then. This is now.
Why is it that at that time? Why is it that at that time they are the best? They are the best players, best captains. Na sahi Bruno akifanya hivyo mnasema ati tunasijini nini akona feelings. Man, no.
Listen. You first of all have to look to the fact that football is changing. So man, it's either you shape in or you shape out. If you can't shape in by the rules that are set, then man, what's the essence of actually you being a player? So we have to allude to the fact that the rules have changed and we have to play by the rules. We cannot compare by the football that was happening in the early 2000s and the football that is happening now. So what we are saying is, man, yeah, Captain Bruno is a very good player, has a very good skill set, but his attitude, by the way, if he continues the same attitude, trust me, there's no value he's going to be adding to your team. Facts. And those are the rules that are actually applying as of now.
Guys, let's move on.
But let's agree on one thing. Rich, let's agree on one thing. Hii kulialia kwa ref. Vieira kwa analia?
Hiyo ni kitambo bro. Vieira hako analia.
No, you're not answering the question. Hako analia.
Nah.
Let's move on.